Hi, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Quinn. I'm a stay-at-home mom starting a small business called Cat Cake Crochet, and I'm using this channel to document my journey in figuring out the ropes of running a small business and doing weekly check-ins about the inventory I'm able to make and getting ready for markets. I wanted to do weekly check-ins, but 2 weeks ago, my baby chipped her front tooth, and because of that, she stopped nursing. And then I developed a clogged duct, which became mastitis, and I was just feeling like super yucky. But now she's weaned, which sucks because I wasn't ready for her to be weaned yet. I wanted to make it until she was 2 years old, but it's okay. Emotionally, I'm trying to get over it. And physically, I'm trying to get over it as well. But anyways, I forgot to film an intro, so here it is. As you can tell, I'm hiding inside our bathroom. I hope you enjoy this video. I go over the flowers that I was able to assemble for the upcoming nature festival that I'm going to, and then some of the like random inventory that I'm working on. Here's everything I was able to assemble before I ran out of stems. It looks like there's more than there is because it's in front of a mirror. I think I have 10 stalks of daisies left to do and then a bunch of lavender, and I'm still working on the poppy pattern. I actually haven't worked on it at all actually. But I'm not done with it yet. But I want those for the festival I'm going to in April. And the next one I'm going to is on March 16th, and that's for Arbor Day, so I don't necessarily need to have the poppies ready for that. I really hate the way that the ombre roses that I made turned out. I wish I had like softer pastel colored yarns, but I was just using with like what I had, and I think it looks super harsh, and I like absolutely hate that like middle spiral is like so prominent instead of the ombre ones. And then this pink one, I only made one pink ombre one because, you know, like those famous paintings of the flowers that look like women's private areas? That's what that looks like to me. So I only made one pink one. But I do like the way that the individual roses look. If you've never made like an easy rose pattern before, they're usually like a really long chain with a scalloped edge, like that, and you just roll it up to make this pattern. So that's why they have a spiral on the inside. And I made up my own pattern for the back cover of the flower because I wanted one that was big enough to cover up like how fat I made the flower head. And I think it looks okay with just the one leaf on it. And then over here is the fake like tulips / lilies that I made. So I guess it still looks cute when they're like actually folded up like a tulip, but I unfolded them and I think it looks really pretty like when you pop out the bottom of the petal to make it like rounded. I think that looks really cute. So because there's wire inside the petals, you can like squish it and fold it different ways. And here's the wooden sign that I got from Hobby Lobby. It fits perfectly underneath the flowers. And it actually has this other piece that you can take off. Oh gosh, I can't do this with one hand. So it has another piece you can take off, and I guess you can flip it around and make it face the other direction if you wanted to. But I think this is what I'll put the prices of the flowers, and then I don't know what I would do with this little tiny sign. But I think it's gonna make a really pretty display if I can like get some risers to lift up some of the bouquets. And then once I have like the lavender. Hey, I'm just gonna jump right into what I've been working on. So believe it or not, for the first time ever this morning, I made chickens. And I know that that sounds crazy because everybody who crochets has made the maple chicken. I'm only mostly crocheting for like what other people have asked me to make, and especially for my daughter, and no one has ever asked me to make them a chicken. And my daughter's never asked for a chicken yet, but I really love that pattern with like the mama chicken with the egg inside, or like sometimes you see it with the baby inside. I really do want to make that one and see how long it takes me if that's something that I can make for markets. But that's not what I made this morning. So this morning I used the YouTube tutorial from Hobby Crochet to make this maple style chicken. I actually made two. I used Bernat blanket yarn in the colorway Inkwell and a 6.5mm hook. This pattern is 4 rows of increases and then 10 body tallness. So this is what size chicken you get with that. They take a lot of stuffing. I'm not sure if I'm understuffing it because I do want them to still be squishy, but I was like shocked at how much stuffing was actually going in these. You can see that I used two different comb tops. Do I need to edit that out? I used two different comb top things. I was trying to figure out which ones I like. I think this one looks like a dinosaur, so I'll probably stick with just like the two. And then I used like a worsted weight yarn, just one for my stash. I have no idea what brand it was. I just wanted really, really bright red. And the beak is Loops and Threads Home Slim. I hate that yarn. It sheds so bad, it breaks. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, but I'm gonna use it up, and maybe I can use it up for chicken beaks. So I wanna make at least 5 of these guys for my market, and I'm sure that people who are seasoned marketers are like, you need to make 40 of those. Well, I know that there's another crochet artist in my town, and I know that that person at least makes leggy frogs because I've seen them on the advertisements for the Wednesday farmers markets in my town. So there's a good chance that they're also making maple chickens. I really just made these to like try to test out the pattern, and then I might try that chicken with the egg inside of it. We'll see. So I also made this deck. This was a free Instagram pattern by Crocheted by Elle, and this pattern was pretty simple to work up, but it was really funny how it's just like up to you. It was just like willy-nilly inside the pattern. No indication of where the eyes go. No indication of where exactly to sew on the beak or the wings. It was just like make the body and finish it off. Like if you weren't paying attention, you could just close it without even adding the eyes. But I do think he turned out really cute. There's an optional like little purse that you can give him. This hat would be super easy to convert into like a strawberry, or do some bobble stitches and make it like a frog hat or something. I really like this guy. I might make it again and time myself and see if it's something that I want to make for market. So I kind of just made it because I thought the pattern was cute. In the picture on Instagram, it was like a little itty bitty guy, but I used Bernat blanket in white for the body, and I think that's why he's so chunky. And then I used the same Chanel Home Slim for the feet and the beak, and a different Home Slim for the hat. But overall, he's really, really cute. I also made this bunny from the YouTube tutorial from 1 Cent Crochet. Mine didn't come out as chunky as the tutorial, and I used Bernat blanket for the body, but they're still really cute. I probably understuffed it, to be honest. I think I have a tendency of doing that. I love this pattern. It's just like the basic bunny pattern, you know? It's just like a cutie patootie bunny, and so easy to customize like the face and like clothing and all that stuff. So I just wanted at least one like medium-sized bunny to have on my display for Easter. This pattern is so heavy, like the head is a separate piece than the body and the arms and the ears, but I really don't mind sewing, and especially with Bernat blanket, it's so easy. But I did try the same pattern from memory without sewing on the head. So I made these 2 twin bunnies, just kind of like using the same memory of the legs basically. And then for the head and the neck, I just did decreases down to the neck and then instantly went into back loop increases. I just wanted to have like a couple bunnies because they're cute and it's springtime and Easter. I'm still deciding if I like love them. They're pretty cute. I think it'd be fun to like make one of these bunnies crying and the other one really happy. We'll see. We'll see if I tear off their blush and make them upset. I made them using Posh yarn. And were you scared last week or the week before when somebody posted on Facebook that they were discontinuing Posh yarn? I thought it was so funny. But then it turns out that they're just restocking it in spring with like new colors, which I can't wait for. Because there's so many times that I'm like, man, I really wish they had a different color brown or a bright red or any other colors. But anyway, so I mostly have Posh yarn in my stash. So that's why I wanted to make some bunnies with the Big Twist Posh yarn to see how big they would turn out. And I think it's pretty good size. The purple yarn is so much softer and like more squishy than the pink yarn. It's like way firmer, and it's not the amount that I stuff them, like it's the actual yarn. I also made 5 possums from the free Instagram pattern by JM Adorable Plushies. This is the same possum pattern I think that everybody is using. Oh, there's like a fluff thing in the, okay. That I think everybody's using, unless there's a different one, like a paid version that I don't know about. But very, very easy, very fast to work up. I could tell that that would be super fast for market prep if you just made all, why am I trying to hold all of them at the same time? Okay, if you just made all the bodies as like little sleeves and then went back and stuffed them and then did the ears and the tails, I could see how that would be super market prep friendly. Mine did come out a little bit top heavy because I used Bernat blanket for the face and then Posh for the bodies, and that was because I didn't have the Posh yarn in white. Now I do because my order came in, but I'm not going to go back and remake these guys. They're just going to have like big fat heads. I also made 5 axolotls from the Loretta Loops baby axolotl pattern. Obviously they're not all finished, so this is actually the only one that I did the gills on, and they're all made with Posh yarn, and then the gills will also be Posh yarn. So I do definitely think that the example picture in the Instagram post is a lot cuter because they're using blanket yarn, and the Posh yarn is just like, it's not as cute, I think. But I think they're a good like handheld size. I don't know how much I'm going to charge for, I don't know why I keep trying to hold all of them at the same time. Okay, I'll just hold 2. I don't know how much I'm going to charge for these. I was thinking like maybe like $8. I need to kind of like research and see how much other people are charging for like this size of plushie because it's so small. I don't want to charge $5 because they take a while. But I do think that this pattern's nice because I was just able to assembly line style pump it out. And I actually, when I was looking at the pattern, I was doing one in pink, and then I would get done with one part and pick up the blue yarn and then work on that part, do the same like, you know, part of the pattern, and then go back to the pink part and do that part and then go back to the blue one. And this is the only time that I've used these like kawaii safety eyes, which is what I always see them called. And yes, I do have an old mustache tattoo on this finger because I was an emo kid in high school. And I think I got this tattoo when I was like freshly 18, but it's kind of faded now. Anyways, I'm going to use this for the blue for the gills, also Big Twist Posh. And I think I'll just do one in purple and probably do the last naked pink guy back in pink. And then I really wanted to make some green ones because every time I see baby axolotl patterns, people always do like a whole rainbow. And I did ask my like 10-year-old niece if axolotls were still cool, and she was like, yeah. So I want to make a lot of them. I also made this chubby stingray from the website Stringy Ding Ding, which is such a funny website name. But they have really great patterns, and I love the stingray. This was my first time using this pattern. You have the option to not stuff the little arms, but I stuffed mine so it'd be extra fat. And it's super cute. I really like this pattern. I don't know how market friendly it is because I feel like it took me a long time to make. You can also put, I think I said, what's it called? Pipe cleaner in the tail to bend it. I think that'd be really cute if the tail was bent like this. I didn't do that. I might make these again and try to make it smaller, but I did see an Instagram post. Let me see if I can find it. It's by Loops and Knots Crochet, and it is of a tiny stingray. And it looks like they're using worsted weight yarn, and the stingray is coming out really, really small inside of their example photo. So I'm going to try that pattern with some Posh yarn and see how big it is. And maybe that can be like a market friendly thing. Maybe this can be the mama stingray and I can make her a bunch of little babies. I also made this Hammerhead Shark from a free pattern on the website Lovecrafts, except that I changed it a lot. The example picture was done in worsted weight yarn, and all of the pictures were kind of like this angle, so you can really see the body. And then as I was working it up, I made this using the Chanel Home Slim from Michaels, and I just felt like the decreases were just like so narrow, and its body was coming out so pointy and little that I frogged it and tried to make the body longer. And then the fins and the top part, the other fin, were like way too little, so I had to like come up with my own pattern to make them bigger. He kind of looks like an airplane when I'm looking at him from this angle. I tried to do the same technique for the tail fin that was in the pattern, and I'm just super unhappy with it. I think it looks like a fish. I think that looks like fish fins. I made this new tail fin, which is really, really big, but I think that's how big it needs to be to like kind of balance out the body. And I'm going to try to do some surgery and cut off that tail fin and attach this new one. I don't think the tail fin will stand up by itself. Maybe I can pull this top thread real tight and see if it can stand up, but I definitely, yeah, I think I want to switch it out. This pattern was fun to make. I don't see a lot of Hammerhead Sharks, so I wanted to make one, and I think he's cute. I just don't like this yarn. The pattern was a little bit weird. I don't know if I'll make it again. We'll see. So this next thing that I made, nobody asked for, but honestly, it's like one of my favorite things that I've ever made. I was just scrolling on Instagram when I was feeling kind of crappy last week, and this post came up. I can't remember who it was by, so I'll put a picture. And she had made the most beautiful little cute worm. And I was like, I want that worm in my life. And she specifically put inside the post that she was not selling the pattern for the rounded worm body, that she was only selling the patterns for the pointed worm bodies. And I wanted the rounded one. So I made this guy. So this is a Vigle Worm. I think he's super, super cute. I absolutely love him. I think he needs accessories. She, in one of her posts, she has a worm with a cowboy hat on, which I absolutely think he would be so freaking cute with that on. I also think a party hat, a witch's hat, a Santa hat, like the possibilities are endless. I tried my best to make him be able to stand up. You can see. And so this was my first time ever trying to make this pattern. I definitely didn't do like the smoothest job on the spiral shape, so you can see that there are like some lumps and bumps, but I'm happy with like the overall shape of it. And I think if I make this again, I have a better idea of how to do the decreases to like get it more smooth. And I really do like working inside of these like curved shapes. It's just something different than your regular amigurumi where you're just going back and forth inside the round. And I really, really like him. I've showed my husband and my sister, and like nobody else cares about him, but I care about him. I think he's so cute. I think he's so cute, and I want to put him on my table. I want to put him on my market table. Maybe somebody else will think he's cute too. I also this week got in the mail some Market Prep things that I had ordered online. So I got some keychain, ball and chain keychains from Temu or Temu. I don't know how that website is pronounced. I always see people pronounce it differently. I put it inside this vase so my daughter wouldn't grab them. But they're just the little short ball and chain keychains. So I got these ones to attach to plushies. But I also got, there's eyeballs stuck to it, these little clips. And I got metal clips so that they wouldn't break. And they come in lots of different colors. And then I got some little, what are these called? Jump rings. So these jump rings came from Amazon. I ordered them afterwards because I thought maybe I wanted jump rings to connect to the ball and chains. And so far it's been working really well. And they're really easy for me to just do with my hands, but I can see if I use pliers, it'd probably be way simpler. I probably wouldn't pinch myself so often. Also from Temu, I got these just silver, like lobster claw keychains. They might be hard to see inside the bag. I haven't tried using one of these yet, but I thought for like regular keychains that aren't backpack buddies or purse charms, these would be better. So I wanted to make like some smaller keychains that like men or people who carry a lot of keys would use. And then I want to make bigger keychains that you would clip on the outside of your purse or your backpack. So I freehanded these strawberries. I made 3 of them, and I used the jump ring and these ball and chains. And I think I want to add one of those little metal clips what are they called? Are these called carabiners? Or did I just make that up? I might add one of these. I don't know how much that's gonna like add to the value or like the cost of these keychains. I want to keep these at like $8 or 2 for $15 for these bigger like backpack buddies. But I think these strawberries are super cute. I used that same no-name yarn that I used on the chickens for like the little chicken head pieces, and then just some green cotton. And the yarn is a little bit fuzzy. It has like a little halo of fuzz around it, and I actually think it looks really cute on the strawberries. So I have 3 strawberries. I have 3 mushrooms that I freehanded, and this was using the Bernat blanket in white and then a posh for the top. So they're like, it's different size yarns, but I do think it came out pretty good. And then I used the free Instagram pattern from Bria Crochets to make 2 little, what does she call this? Just the No So Froggy pattern. So I have 2 of these guys. Give them little cheeks and they look very, very cute. So these are the ones that have like the little feet on the bottom. So I also made another one using a bigger hook. I think for these I used a 5 hook, and then for this one I might have used a 6.5. And this guy I've been using on my purse for the last week, and he has the jump ring and the ball and chain and this clip. And he's been on my purse for a week with my daughter pulling on him and us going to stores and throwing my purse on the ground and all that stuff. And the jump ring hasn't pulled out. It hasn't stretched at all. Like even if I like pull on it, it's not really messing up the yarn at all. So I don't know if this is the way to go or if I'm just like adding too much hardware to my backpack buddies. I need to find out what other people are doing. So I have a bunch of free Instagram posts that I saved of smaller little animals that I want to make into backpack buddies. But I also went on Etsy and I bought the bundle pack for Poggy's Place. So that's the little critter packs where there's like 6 little farm animals, or there's a pack with little woodland creatures. So I bought the farm animals, the woodland creatures, and then the pack that had the cats and dogs. And I think in my next video, I want to do a full review of those patterns and see how quickly they worked up. I'll time myself with how quickly they worked up and how big they actually are. Because I was thinking when I first saw those patterns come out that they were like a this size, you know, little toy. And then I saw a picture of somebody's and it was like super, super tiny. So I want to see how big mine are and see how fast they are to make. I'm definitely really excited to make the little puppy. It's super, super cute. I really like the little puppy and I like the little owl. So another market thing that I purchased is this wooden sign from Hobby Lobby. I bought this on the website and I believe it was $5.50. And I'm really sorry if the glare on my glasses is distracting. Oh gosh. Okay, so this wooden sign, I believe it was $5.50, and it's 2 separate pieces. You can take off this piece. I think that this is why you can take it off, is so that you can flip it around and make the like arch face the other way. So I got this to either write the price of the flowers for like the build your own bouquets, or to do like these are the ways that you can pay, and then have like a QR code with my link tree and then my, you know, my store name. Or even if you've seen it at some farmers markets, people will have like a little bio of like, this is the person who's made these things, or at so-and-so crafts, this is our story, you know? And I thought it'd be neat to write a little thing about like, these products were made locally inside of this town, and I'm inspired by my daughter, and all proceeds will go to getting my daughter a jungle gym or something, you know? I like reading that kind of stuff, especially if you're checking out at the farmers markets and the person takes your card and it's like taking them a few minutes to run it, and you're just like kind of standing there like not knowing what to do. If they have like a little sign, you can read it, or it will just make you feel good about like buying from, you know, a small business. So I have to figure out how I want to make this face. And I don't know if I want to paint this, because I saw on the Hobby Lobby website that they had another untreated wood item that I bought, that I wanted, that I did buy because it was on sale. So when that comes in the mail, I'll show it. But it's like a bigger arch type of sign that has a hinge on it. I'm really, really excited because I think I want to use that to make some kind of like sign that says my name. So another thing I did this week was sign up for another market, even though I haven't had my first one. And that's because it was really just because I saw advertisements for this market called the Spring Fling, and it's like literally outside my door. Like, it's so insanely close to my house that I could just walk outside and be at the market on that day. And I knew that I would be going to it anyways because it's at this location that me and my family really like, and we take walks there, and it's like this beautiful, it's an event center, and it has just this beautiful, beautiful view of this huge lake, and it's just really, really gorgeous. And when I saw that they were looking for vendors, I just was like, well, I'll try to excel in a time limit and see if I get accepted. So the person that is putting on the event is actually another vendor. They own a freeze-dried candy company in my hometown, and I always see their advertisements everywhere. And I actually bought some of their freeze-dried candy for my husband for Valentine's Day, so it's kind of funny. So I messaged the vendor and I asked them if there was any other crochet artists that were going to be at the event, but she told me that there was no other crochet artists that were signed up to be there. So I just went ahead and submitted my application. I sent photos over and I got accepted. So I'm pretty excited. It is a little scary because the Arbor Day Festival that I'm going to is on March 16th, and this Spring Fling is what it's called, is on March 30th. So it's the day before Easter, which actually might be a good thing because if I don't sell Easter stuff at the Arbor Day Festival, then I can have it for the Spring Fling. And it seems like it's going to be pretty small, at least the people who have said that they're attending on Facebook. It's not like hundreds and hundreds of people yet. I think there is like maybe 10 other vendors, so we'll see. It could end up being a big event, I don't know. But it's a week before my other event, which is the Flower Day Festival, and that's on April 6th. So it's a little bit scary. I could go to the Arbor Day Festival and get destroyed and run out of stock and then have to pump it out and go crazy to try to make stuff for the Spring Fling and then immediately run out of stock and then have to stay up all night for 5 days trying to make stuff for the Spring Festival or the Flower Festival. Or I could go to the Arbor Day Festival and it'd be a disaster and not sell anything, and then have a ton of stuff for the Spring Fling and then not sell anything there, and then have everything that I've ever made for the Wildflower Festival, which might happen. But I think I just have to take that risk and take that chance because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm still new to this, and maybe like seasoned marketer people are saying like, you're a fool. Or maybe you guys are like, yeah, do it. We're supporting you. So the Arbor Day Festival is in 3 weeks, and I have my inventory list of my goals that I want to meet. So I have, I think, 80 flowers made already. I don't necessarily have to have the poppies ready for the Arbor Day Festival because I really want to have those ready for the Wildflower Festival. So I can hold off on those. So that's like another 20 flowers that I could make. I could have like 100 flowers. But I think I have 80 right now, or at least the things made to assemble 80 flowers. Now I'm working on things that are not flowers, which is so much fun, and I really feel like I'm so much faster at making things that are not flowers. But if you've never crocheted flowers before, it is really, like, it's kind of cool. It's a different technique, you know, using the wires and everything, and they're really beautiful. Like, I think they're really pretty, and it's not something that you see everywhere. So I'm so glad that I made those flowers, but I definitely am excited to work on other things. So I just want to talk about some of the patterns that I'm looking forward to trying for Market Prep. And I also want to say that I really don't want to do leggy froggies and I don't want to do octos. So I'm not going to. So there is one bee pattern that I want to do, and this is by Fammy Crochets. It's this cute like sitting bee. I really like this one. I'm not a huge fan of like the, you know, the loaf bees. I think that I just have seen them too many times. So I want to try this one just because it's new to me. And I actually really love when people make bees that are brown and yellow. So I might be making some of those. Okay, so this isn't exactly an octo, but it's kind of like octo-ish. There's this squid no-sew pattern that I want to try. It's by Plushy Co Patterns, I believe. Yes. And I think that one's really cute. I think the head shape is super interesting. So I want to try that and see if I want to make a couple of those for market. I also want to make a tiny little chicken. I'm thinking of things for like in the $5 range. So I think this little like palm-sized chicken is cute. This is by Without Limits Crochet. I also really want to make this spider pattern that is by Crochets by Dare. I think it's super cute. I think he's super, super cute. And I don't know how big it's going to be, but I'm hoping that it'd be smaller with the Posh yarn where it could be like a $5 item. Oh my gosh, and I really want to make this sea slug. It's so cute. It's by Kiss Crochet Corner and Cozy Wonder Crochet. It's so cute. I really, really want to make that. Also, this cowhead pattern by Kyla's Crochet is adorable, and it could be like a card charm or a backpack buddy. And also this little duck pattern that's a collab between Lavender Crochet and Stitched Creations with the little frog hat and the strawberry hat. I think it's super cute, and I actually think that that's more like what I was thinking of when I made, that's more the size I was thinking of when I made this guy. So if I can make that one that's by Stitch Creations and Lavender Crochets and it be a little bit smaller, maybe it'd be like a little family of ducks. So I might be good on bigger items because I have the Hammerhead Shark and the big bunny. Even that chicken is kind of big, and then my worm. Like the star of the show, you know, the giant worm. I might be good on big items, or big stuffed animals at least. So I might just need to focus on like smaller $5 to $10 items, which is what you always hear in when people do like market prep videos. They're always like, I need to do more $5 to $10 items. Well, yeah, I need to do that too. So I'm excited to have my Posh yarn in white now, so I can work on like smaller cows and things like that. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I'm doing a pattern test on Instagram. This is the first pattern test that I've ever participated in, and this is from the creator Loud Vibrations. It is for this chunky penguin boy. I started it this morning before my daughter woke up after I did those chickens, and I am this far. I'm right before the color changes start, and they have a really interesting way of doing the color changes, which I've never done before. So this is how big, I mean, this is a chunky boy. Like if this is how big it's gonna be, mine has the cone on the bottom. I guess that's, you know, that's why you do pattern tests. But also I've done so many things that have cones on the bottom, and then whenever I just stuff it, I just, you know, manipulate the stuffing to make it flat on the bottom. But I'm excited, and thank you so much, Love Vibrations, for choosing me to do your pattern test. I have been trying to take more aesthetically pleasing pictures, which just means taking them outside. So besides the plushies, I was able to assemble a lot of flowers, and that's super, super exciting to like get those done and finished. I'm really, really happy with that. I still have, I think, 20 left to assemble, but I ran out of the thicker skewers that I was using. Not skewers, the floral stems that I was using. I use these like thicker ones that I buy on Amazon, and they're really, really long. I don't cut them. I like how long they are. But the ones that they sell like locally in Walmart are really thin and short. And I don't like working with them. I tried. Let me grab them and I'll show you. And these stems are so much thicker and nicer than these ones that I can get from Walmart for $2. So, sorry, this one's like really bent. So these ones from Walmart, they're just thin and they bend so easily that when you're wrapping the flower with the yarn, what was happening to me was that the stem was like bending as I was wrapping it. And it was taking so much longer to wrap the yarn too, because with this thick one, I can just twirl this stem and while I'm wrapping, and it's super fast. Also, the flower heads on some of them are so heavy that you need a thicker stem to keep the flower upright. And these kind of stems, they wouldn't work with like the sunflower or the roses because they're going to be so top heavy that it's just going to bend the flower over. But I'll find a way to repurpose these stems so that I don't waste them. I did see a cute Instagram post from somebody that I follow, did a pattern test for these, like, it was a potted lavender. So I had like this type of lavender, maybe smaller stalk inside a little crocheted pot. And I thought that that was really cute. Maybe that's something that I could do with these like thinner stems, because if it's smaller, maybe it won't be so top heavy to fall over. We'll see. Another market thing this week was that my square reader came in the mail. So I ordered this from the Square website a week ago, I believe, and I just went ahead and got the free one, which is the plug-in one that you get when you sign up for a Square account. Maybe if I am successful in the markets, I will splurge and get one of the fancier like terminals. But for now, hopefully this one works okay. I have a refurbished iPhone, and sometimes my like plug-in thing doesn't work. I have to like finagle it and try it a few different times. But I also have an iPad, and I can use my phone as a hotspot if I need to bring my iPad and use that to check people out. But I'm very happy I have this now, and I'm excited to play around with the free Square website to track inventory and stuff. I've seen a lot of creators use that, especially Pieces of Scrap, who I like to watch on YouTube. She shows her Square inventory site, and I'm excited to like play around with that and get off just using like pen and paper. So that's my cue to go. Hopefully the next video I get out is a review of the Poggy Place little animals, and I'm excited to show that standing wooden sign thing that I get in the mail later. So if you watched this video, thank you so much, and I'm sorry for missing a week, but I mean, life happens, and my boob really hurt. So thank you. See you later.